Hi, Adrie. Thank you so much for making the time today.
You're welcome.
Can you share with me a little bit more about what prompted you to reach out to me for help initially?
I think initially I was kind of shocked and confused when I went for my physical and I got my blood work results because I was already working out really, really well. I like to run and exercise. And so I was like, okay, I must be doing something right. So I remember getting a notice that I was pre-diabetic and to just watch what I was doing. But I didn't have a really guide to go by. And then when I went for my results, the blood work came back at 6.0 A1C. And he's like, okay, you're getting closer to being diabetic. I need you to really think about this. And I think that scared me. And I was going through Facebook, through Instagram, just to kind of learn and understand. And then I came up on your reel, and I just really liked the way you broke some information down really quickly. And I was like, okay, she has good information. Let me do a little consult with her. And I really like that you kind of calm me down and you're like, well, you're not really diabetic. You're pre-diabetic, but I can help you with that. And so I think that's what I was just really scared. And so I didn't know where to go. And I think that it comforted me just to understand, like you understood and you felt, it just felt really like I was going to be okay after that with the right
Yeah,
guidance. Hmm.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That warms my heart that you felt like safe and felt that you had hope after that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was happy about that because I was so scared about just the doctor said, "You're gonna be diabetic if you don't do something." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then you're like, "It's okay. You're okay. We can get you there. So let's talk about it." And I think that made me feel a little bit more calmer.
Absolutely. That's so valid. What would you say, Adrie, throughout the course of working together, what were your biggest numerical victories?
So with my 3-month checkup, I think for me, both numerically my weight and the A1C. I didn't know quite where I would fall under rechecking my blood work because I was there getting the blood work and I had to wait a couple of days or a week for the results. But just the 35 weight loss really just excited me. Ever felt like every week I was losing 5 to 6 pounds a week. Excuse me, 1 to 2 pounds a week. But the first initial, I think in 1 month was 5 to 6 pounds. And then after that, it was 1 to 2 pounds every week. And so I was excited about that. I could see myself, my face getting slimmer, my clothes fitting better. And then I get the result in the mail and my A1C dropped to 5.5 from 6.0 to 5.5. So I was no longer considered pre-diabetic. And so I think that was a game changer for me.
That's amazing. I mean, just thinking about that going from the pre-diabetes range in just a
Mm.
couple of months to the non-diabetes range and also losing, you said 35 pounds in total. That's
Right.
amazing. And I remember you showed me that picture of the fat versus muscle model. And it's like
Mhm.
when you see it visually like that, it's like I lost that, you know? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, he
So
said, "You lost 5 of those at that time," and I was super excited just to see, "Oh my god, I can't believe I was that big," and I see the pictures and what a difference my just in my face, it's slimmer, so I'm really excited about that part.
that's amazing. Congrats. What would you say were some of your non-numerical victories?
For me, it was healing my relationship with food and not feeling like I had to consume so much all the time, and understanding better healthy choices, and understanding how to pair the food. That was a big game changer for me because even now, I went on vacation last week and, I still ate a little bit of what my family was eating, but I also incorporated the fiber, the veggies, and everything that I needed to. So that just learning about food and how healthy food can be. Now the younger boys are picking up healthy choices like, oh, I want broccoli, I want veggies, I want my salad. And I'm like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
That's amazing. And it sounds like, even when you're on vacation, you know that you can still enjoy some
Mhm.
fun foods, right? Like if you want to, have a little dessert or a little treat here and there, you can do that. But I think you have the tools now on how to do that in a way where you know what the proper portion is. And also, like you said, how to pair it to have the better outcome with your blood sugars. How did the framework in the Blood Sugar Collaborative help you fill in the gaps to accomplish these goals?
Well, it helped me for me to understand exactly how to pair food. What is a healthy carb? What is not a healthy carb? Um, your nutritional value in the veggies that we eat, the differences between the veggies that we eat, the portions that we eat, and how much to eat of that portion. So that was a big eye opener because I didn't know like what's the size of a protein I'm supposed to eat, how much of veggie should I eat, how should I incorporate it, and that really helped. The visuals, the PowerPoints, the constant weekly, check-ins that we get from you. And sometimes also, I think for me, the weekly check-ins help because not only aside from our normal questions and our reviews of food or whatever topic it is for that week, we also get to ask, questions like, hey, I have an infection and I'm taking this antibiotic. How do I deal with that without it, increasing my blood sugar? And really, it's just that extra information that I get from you to help me understand, okay, eat it with a pair of food or eat it with certain things and make sure that you check your blood sugar. So that really helped me a lot. Just the framework of your whole PowerPoint presentations and the weekly check-ins and then how to eat.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. Can you share how you're still able to enjoy the foods that you love while reaching your blood sugar goals?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm still doing that now. Like I love wine once a week, a glass of wine with my dinner, and I make sure I eat it with some, health value foods like the protein, the fiber, and I make sure I eat it with some good foods. And also, if I want a dessert, then I make sure that I'm having that extra veggie just to, for my own peace of mind. I don't want to feel like I'm overdoing it on the sugars either, but I don't try to deprive myself and just really small portions, not something, big or crazy, anything like that. But I have healed my relationship with food, to be honest with you, because I don't crave those cravings that I used to. I want more. I want to eat more. That tastes so good. I need to have more.
Right. It sounds like you found that sweet spot for you,
Yes,
and that
for
can
sure.
be really healing.
For sure.
Awesome. I love that. Where you were prior to joining the Blood Sugar Collaborative compare to where you are today?
I think I'm not so scared anymore of eating. Sometimes if I want to have maybe some fried chicken wings, I'm not scared to get a portion of the fried chicken wings versus the grilled chicken wings because I understand I'm going to pair it. I'm going to pair it with a good fiber. I'm going to pair it with a good veggie. Um, and I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm going to enjoy it in a portion's good value size. I'm not going to overdo it. And I feel satisfied when I'm pairing the food up. So I think that's really my mental mindset has changed with food. It's just I know how I need to eat and I know what the food that if I do try to eat will do to me. So I'm very aware now.
That's so key. And just knowing, like you said, like knowing what's on your plate that's gonna do what. You know that if you want to have like fried chicken wings, that's fine, but what do I pair with that so I'm not hungry in 2 hours or so I don't spike right away? That's so key.
hmm And I also learned how to incorporate not only the good food options, but also the exercise, right? And so I try to, if I have time right after the meal, I try to walk, but I do incorporate the exercise every single day.
Yeah. And that's such a key part of it too. When you're looking at something from a holistic perspective, it's not just the food and nutrition, it's the exercise, it's stress management, it's good sleep hygiene, it's all of those things together, but doing it in a way that feels like you can do it for the long run. What would you say was the most helpful part or the biggest takeaway for you from the Blood Sugar Collaborative?
For me, it's the support system, not only the nutritional value and what I found in our presentations that you gave. Um, I think also asking us what you want to learn, what are your questions so that you can have it prepared for our weekly check-ins. And I think for me, just finding that support, not just among you, but the peers as well that are having kind of similar um, feelings about food or worries and concerns. It's good to hear that you're not alone. That's what I think I found the biggest. It's just I'm gonna ask Christine, and I have this problem, or I'm worried about this. I'm gonna ask her, and so it was good to be able to reach out to you, and you responded so quickly. And so I think that's what I like a lot, that I was able, it's almost like you're there. Like I can call my friend Christine, she's gonna tell me, you know, don't worry, you're gonna be okay. So, and when I would feel guilty, I'm like, oh my God, I ate this. And you're like, it's okay. Just next time pair it with this or do that. And it would really would make, okay, she's right. I'm eating great like 90% of the time. Stop stressing yourself out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And because when you have those moments, you can really go into a spiral sometimes, and
Mhm.
maybe in the past, it's like that might have even been the very thing that held you up or got you down. It's like I was talking with someone else about this, and it's like those are the moments where in the past you would just throw in the towel. It was the
Yeah.
all or nothing mindset. And when you realize, oh, it's okay, like I'm a human being, I'm allowed to enjoy food, and this is
Mhm.
how to do it, and you find that sweet spot, then you can just move on. And you don't have to feel guilt or shame about it. You're human. What would you tell someone, Adrie, who's considering joining the Blood Sugar Collaborative, or they're kind of on the fence about joining?
To look at it as an investment. Look at it as an investment into your health, right? And so the way you put money in the bank, you're putting almost like time on your life. That's how I looked at it. Like, okay, I was like, well, should I do this expense? I know what to do. I just need to do it. But I've done it so many times. I've talked to myself like that so many times, and I never could do it on my own. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to make this about me. And I spend money on dumb things every day that accumulate to this amount. And so I'm going to do it for myself and see what happens. And then I learned and I was interested and I wanted to know and not only did the fear probably drove me to make that decision, but it also drove me to just be better and so that I could live a long, healthy life for my children. And that's really what is in the back of my head, is to make sure I'm there for the people that need me in the long run. And so I think don't be afraid. If you're confused, um, if you don't know who to ask the questions to, try the Blood Sugar Collaborative group, because it's a life changer for me, because I know how to eat now. I know to make good choices versus the bad, unhealthy choices. And you're going to have the support system that you need. And I think that's the big takeaway. You're going to have the support system that you need. And if you don't know, because I didn't know about carbs, calories, macros, none of that. And so I think you break it down so easily, and it didn't feel like, "Why is that a dumb question?" It made me feel like you can ask anything and it's going to be answered no matter how ridiculous or dumb it might seem.
There's no dumb questions, really.